ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent. The Sick Twisted Minds at Sacrificial Productions brings you a new style of horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares. Welcome to Horror with Sir Sturdy. It's recording, so we can start talking about it. Gory ass movie, funny ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just careful with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this.
Let me think. So,
Best practical effects
oh hell yeah,
to date.
hell yeah! And I just seen this movie 2 weeks ago. Was 2 or 3 weeks ago at his house.
Last week?
Nah, it wasn't last. Last week was the birthday party.
Oh.
And he claims, for those of you who are watching the video, like I said, this whole thing won't be on video. And for those of you who are going to listen to the podcast later, you won't be able to see the moves I'm doing with my hands. But he claims that he let me borrow the movie. He's been trying to get me to watch it for a long time, which...
It was about a year. It was a year.
That's neither here nor there. I don't believe it.
And Chester, too. I don't know if he's watching this.
He lies a lot.
No, I don't.
He's just a terrible liar.
I am.
So the Dead Alive movie, it was really a good film, funny film, fun film.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot the gentleman's name. Let me see if I can look him up.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I got that. That I'm gonna have at some point. I'm gonna have you go on IMDb and just look up the trivia facts, like the fun facts.
I'll pull it up now.
But no, there was another guy. I'm gonna look up his name right now. His name was John something. His last name started with a C. But he told me that the rat monkey, was on Kong movie, Skull Island, like one of the older ones.
Really?
Yeah. He said it showed it in the cage, and it said rat monkey on the cage.
No shit.
And he actually tagged me in the post. And I told him I was going to shoot him out in it. But I got to find the...
John McCain? John Kane?
No, he was in one of the horror groups.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to try to... So just bear with me, peeps. What's up, Scott, Ron,
what's up,
KG?
Scooter? Ronnie, I don't know you, but what's up?
Oh, right here. I'm going to see if I can tag him in this, actually.
Yeah. What site is that? MD?
IMDb.com.
Right,
and then... now it's not working.
Just hanging out, Scooter. Talking about Dead Alive. I put Scott onto that movie a couple years ago.
That's dope.
Yeah, Kung Fu Jesus, kicks ass for the Lord.
That was dope.
Yeah, it's my favorite character.
That was dope.
He could have stopped the whole thing, but then when did he uppercut the guy's head off?
Yeah, and it bit him in the neck.
Yeah, and it landed on his neck, and then he turned, and he could have stopped the whole thing.
His name is John G. I guess you two. He's the one who showed me the video or showed me the link
He
about
showed you the way.
Yeah, the Skull Island thing I was telling you guys about.
Oh, you mean Skull Island, the one that just came out?
No. Older one. Older.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll let me tag him. HNGIU. Nope.
Oh, wait, hey.
So anyway, let me just read this real quick. He said, see, there's the picture right there.
No shit. Look at that.
For those of you who are watching the video, that's good.
Wow.
I know there's like a glare.
Yeah, there it is. Is that the actual cage they use in the movie?
I'm not sure if it's the actual cage.
That'd be a pretty cool prop to have.
But it's the cage. I mean, it was just in both movies.
Yeah. So does that mean that the rat monkey came from Skull Island?
I guess so. Well, yeah. Well, because they were leaving Skull Island when they got the rat monkey.
Was it called Skull Island?
Yeah. I remember when we were watching the movie last week how I pointed out that, 2 weeks ago, whatever, that Skull Island was from Kong, and I looked it up. And it was a fun fact because somebody was a fan of the movie or whatever. That was dope.
Never realized the connection. But if you watch the latest Skull Island, which came out like a year ago, all the animals are huge. Like they're fucking huge. King Kong was the last gorilla. You're damn right.
Oh, better
than my father.
Better priest than Father Gabriel in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's useless. He doesn't kick any ass for any lord.
I stopped watching that show a long time ago. As you know.
I still watch it, but this is the first time I'm not excited for the rest of the season to start because of what they did to Carl. But that's discussion for another day.
But so let's jump back into the movie. The main character, what was the guy's name? Lionel. Now, she was throwing it at him through the whole movie.
Yeah, the Hispanic girl from the grocery store. Yeah.
What the hell was her name? I just watched the movie today.
Because her grandmother read her tarot cards
and said she would find love or something.
Yeah, death surrounds him, and death definitely surrounded him.
Yes, it definitely did.
And then undeath, I guess.
And
perversion.
He wasn't picking up the signs at all. Like, no. She pretty much put it.
Desperation is kind of a put off, but she was at least classy about it.
Yes.
It wasn't like she was like putting her dirty underwear in his mailbox or anything, or like, anything like that.
But I'll just have to do the IMDb on the phone or whatever because this internet ain't clicking.
Yeah.
I'll hook it up to this if this is long enough.
What's up, Billy?
No. Well, maybe. Having a little technical difficulties, kind of, sort of. So, yeah.
I'm going to sit by.
You can keep talking now. Tell him.
Yeah.
There we go. Doing a podcast live. This is the first live podcast.
He got some action, but...
did he?
Yeah, the priest. He banged the nun. Not the nun, I'm sorry, the nurse.
The priest did, but I'm talking about Lionel. He didn't get nothing. Nothing.
They kissed, didn't they? I mean, he probably caught an STD with all that blood on him. Like, what's the statistics? Like 1 in every 5 people have an STD or something like that. So he had a few of them by the end of that movie.
Yeah, but
easily.
That could be true, but still, like, he didn't. I was very disappointed in him.
Yeah,
in his actions.
In his defense, though, I mean, he was really preoccupied, with his mother becoming a zombie, and
even before that, though. In the beginning, like, he just didn't take the opportunity. It's loaded up now.
Yeah.
He didn't take the opportunity that he had thrown at him in his hand. Like, nowadays, people are getting in trouble for taking it, and she was throwing it at him.
Right.
Like a baseball.
Different times.
Different times. Different times ain't the word. But I'm trying to think. So the movie starts out on Kong Island, and these guys are after that monkey, the rat monkey. They get it. Which... It's pretty much when they get the
7.5. That no, out of 10, 8 easily.
We could rate that. We could rate that at the end.
Yeah.
And it was the 80s. Everybody was throwing it around. Yeah, but he wasn't catching it.
92.
92. Still, though.
Still, early 90s. Full bush, you know, all that stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, they started out on Kong Island or whatever. They went and got that rat monkey. And didn't
Skull Island right there, yeah.
Didn't the one dude got scratched or bit?
Scratched.
He got scratched in the forehead and they fucking killed him with a shovel and shit.
Yep.
Then you got all the Africans or whatever the hell the island people.
My uncles.
Yeah, his uncles.
He had a scratch. He had a scratch and a bite. No, he had a scratch on his arm. They cut his arm off.
And
then they saw whatever
scratches on his forehead.
Yeah,
and then beat his head in with a shovel.
Yeah, and then that's when like the blood splattered and
Now you know what was cool about this movie? I know you told me about this. That the name it goes by is Brain Dead.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching it today on my Fire Stick, that's what popped up for the name.
So that was instead of Dead Alive, that was I think it's called Dead Alive in the Netherlands, where it was recorded and all that stuff where it came out, and that's where the Lord of the Rings movies were recorded too.
Ah, interesting.
And that was Peter Jackson who made those movies.
Peter Jackson, not related to the King of Pop.
No,
but
yeah, like this.
What's up, Christian? So, again, this movie was gory as shit, which I loved. I was laughing.
I told you.
You did.
I told you.
And now I see why you don't eat tapioca pudding.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that movie when I was 7 years old, 7 years old.
That's probably why you're so fucked up now.
Yeah, probably. Like, that's why I don't know. Like, I rented it just from the look of the
cover.
Yeah, the people can't see it, but the cover.
No, the cover.
Like, this is going to be awesome, and it was. So
it was, but
you can judge a book by its cover.
Not always.
If its cover is awesome, then the movie's going to be awesome.
I'm going to throw this out here now, if these numbers are right. A light-skinned Frankenstein. Farfrank.
Farrakhan.
There you go. Thank you. The budget for this movie was $3 million. The gross in USA was $242,623.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And just think of how much money they saved using practical effects, because that was 92. So, there was better effects available, but
oh yeah,
I mean,
and this we could read after.
I think it still holds up, with today's movies and TV shows for practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
You had the one scene where the one guy, his guts get pulled out, and his guts come, they come alive.
That was,
like,
yeah.
The butthole was the mouth. Remember, it was like looking at itself in the mirror, and it's like going like this. And
that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
like that's one of those movies where I can eat during, but there's certain. If you're a queasy person, don't eat.
Do not. No.
And if you can eat, don't eat anything that's like runny.
Yeah.
Or soupy or oatmeal-y.
Or just
pudding.
Oatmeal.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, what the fuck?
And just the sound effects too.
Oh,
when
man. The
mom was eating. Remember, she had like the gauze wrapped around her arm.
Yep.
And she stabbed herself.
And
just
went right into homeboy's.
Yeah. And
homeboy's pork.
Oh, and he
pudding.
Swished it around in his mouth.
Exactly.
Like that was terrible.
That I was dying. And then remember when her ear fell off and her shit, and she ate it.
It had an earring in it.
Yeah, no, that lady like covered her mouth and ran out.
I would have left.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what the hell's going on here? White people are crazy.
They are. See, Scott thinks it's tasty.
Yeah, that's Scooter.
She almost vomited. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is very queasy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But it was like nonstop. Gore. Just about. Especially like the last 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness, the last 10 minutes of the movie, which we will get there. I'm gonna try to talk to a movie and talk about.
Yeah,
a movie
but it's just so good. You're like bouncing around.
Yeah,
because so many parts stick out. I mean the first maybe 10 minutes or so kind of drag.
But then after that, it's just
well, the first
non-stop.
couple, like the first, the scene in Skull Island kind of sets the tone. But once when the guy and the girl, they go on their date
to the zoo,
and the monkey bites the mom, and she fucking with
Stabs
her heel into
Killed
his head. Everybody punched the monkey.
Yo,
the sound effect.
Look,
Pop.
the funny thing about that scene, we were both dying. Willie, what's good, bro?
What's up, Willie?
We were both dying about that scene, but this guy was like, "Yo, rewind it. We have to watch that again."
Let me see if I can.
We watched that a couple times. That scene was funny though because he punched it, knocked it out.
So he had to hit him that hard. I'm sure monkeys talked. He's like, "Yo, let me get that banana, man." Like,
and then he ate his tail.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
that sound effect killed me."
Oh man.
It was like
How's it going, bro? We're doing a live podcast right now.
It was like the sound effect from like Batman.
Dead Alive?
The TV show, like when people get punched.
Pow! Bang!
Yeah.
And you see the sound effects come on TV too. Bam!
Imagine getting hit so hard that like letters just appear above your head.
I would never want to get hit that hard ever in my life. If anybody ever hits me that hard where I see letters, if we were friends, we're no longer friends.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I could see that being.
We could write that friendship off.
Yeah.
There's no reason to hit anybody that hard that you're cool. Even if you don't like me, we're definitely not friends.
Let's see if I can find it. I just put Dead Alive Rat Monkey Punch.
Dead Alive Rat Monkey Punch. And oh man.
I would love for there to be like a statue like where you have a Jason or like anything else of the rat monkey.
Oh, that would be dope.
Here we go.
Let's see if we can pull it up.
You know I got it.
You could just hear
it's banana. Oh no, it's apple.
It was fruit.
Right there. Hold on. I hope this isn't too loud.
No, that's fine. Her name's Bashida, right?
Some shit.
She should have threw that shit.
Knocked him out cold. Hey, look at the look on homeboy's face. Watch.
I'm gonna watch it one more time. Oh. The rat monkey arm.
Oh, that was so funny.
It really was.
So funny.
So yeah, the rat monkey, he knocks the monkey out.
His reach is crazy.
His power is crazy.
Yeah. He could have been an MMA fighter.
Should have been. Well, he ended up getting killed by the dude's mom.
Bitch.
Which
Francis, is Rylan still watching?
Why did
I'll try not to curse as much.
Why did she go to the zoo? Why did his mother go to the zoo?
Because she was like an overbearing mother and wanted to see what her son was doing without her.
He should have lied.
He should have. Or he could have just left. Dude was in his 30s. Like, yo,
move out.
I'm leaving.
Where are you going? Out.
Yeah.
And she showed up.
She walked all that way in her heels too.
And, like when she got bit. When she got bit by the rat monkey thing, she was screaming. He like knew it was her automatically.
Yeah,
like that's my mother.
He pushed the girl out of the way, and it's like a Norman Bates type of situation with him and his mom.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it though was like she was throwing at him through the whole movie, and he just kept like neglecting.
Yeah,
like,
she was right there, just throwing it right in his face.
And she just kept saying he just kept neglecting it, pushing it aside. Maybe he can't read. Like there's certain, there's. Rat monkey, you mean?
Ricky.
No, not Ricky.
That's a crack monkey.
But I'm like, some people really can't read the signs.
Pick up on signals, yeah.
And that's just
she was until she, slowly died.
That's just it's sad. But then I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, if she's throwing it at you that many times, like when you shoot your shot at a chick, there's only so many times you're like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah. Because she thought that they were meant to be together.
Because you know what it was? Because her grandmother read those cards and then he knocked something over and it like lined up right. Remember?
Yeah, it was colored pencils and pens and stuff, and they
didn't they make a cross or something?
Yeah, made the sign of the amulet that her grandmother had.
Okay.
That ended up coming into play later on in the movie.
Chris,
that actually saved his life.
Yes, it did. What's good, CP? You guys are live on the podcast. Well, you guys are live on the podcast typing. We're verbally doing this.
You're live with us.
Yes.
You're live with us.
You heard that. You had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually changing my mind in the middle of this podcast right now. Just gotta be careful because that'll be in the thing. I'm gonna leave this video live. So whoever's watching it live, we're live. Yes, we're live. I'm gonna keep it live, and then once you see it recorded and all that, once you hear it on Podbean, you'll be able to hear it. But if you want to see it, you gotta go to the Horror with Search 30 page. You can watch the whole thing play out live. No edits, no cuts. Peanut butter and hot dogs. That's disgusting. Well, the movie was nasty. So, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's fair.
It'll fit. Okay, so we were just talking about the rat monkey biting the mother.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked about the pudding. I gotta throw this scene out there because it was funny as hell. Now, remember when her name is Boshida, right?
Yes. Something like that, yeah.
When she brings his jacket back?
Yeah, because he left in a hurry.
So he leaves in a hurry after his, all the stuff happens to his mom. And she comes up at night. Now, you know what that means if somebody's coming over at night. That ain't no, hi, how you doing? Let's have some hot chocolate and coffee.
Yeah.
That's, hi, how you doing? Let's have some adult hot chocolate, which is sex.
Laying the pipe.
Yep.
Laying down the sauce, the thick sauce.
And he was telling her to go away. He was like, I'll get it tomorrow. Really she was like, here, your jacket. Like, he didn't say thank you. He was like, go away, I'll get it tomorrow. And then he finally let her climb up the ladder. She was giggling. She had that smile.
Yeah.
Because he jumped
in there.
He jumped back in his room.
Boner. Yeah, boner.
He jumped back in his room. Remember he checked the door. He opened his door to see if his mom's door was still closed or whatever. They went back out there. She was like at the window, knocking on the window, waving and smiling. And he went back out the window.
I'd have been
like he could have did it on the balcony or his room.
Yeah, or the grocery store.
Wherever. Like, she was down.
Yeah.
And
get nasty on the produce.
But so he got his coat, he got a kiss, and she pretty much left.
Yeah, he was probably wiping it off after she left.
And another scene that pops into my head is where later on when he's going to get the tranquilizer stuff, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was going to get that.
Yeah, he went to the vet.
And when he was leaving, he was hiding behind the truck, and then he ducked behind that car. The car drove off. Big jar, so he was like... Yep. And the car drove off, and he was still there.
Yeah.
And she seen him. She was tight. I know we're bouncing around this movie.
She did not give up on him, though.
She didn't. Even when she was with the...
yeah.
Even when she was with the
Chocolate
dude...
bananas.
With the meat man.
Oh, yeah. Because he pulled up shortly after that, right?
He did, and
he punched him, knocked him out.
What the hell did he say? To leave her alone? I forgot.
He said we heard you're a crazy boy or something.
Something because of the zombies.
Because he was using their slang. I'm not exactly even sure.
And he punched him in the face, which was very, very violent. And he didn't need to do all that.
That guy's going through a lot.
He is. His mom was a damn zombie.
Yeah, and So he calls the meter.
The meter. So he calls
a nurse. Remember, the nurse comes to the house.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl's there, too.
Boshida?
Yeah, she was there.
She's packing his stuff.
Yeah. And the mom bites the nurse. And then the nurse starts to turn. And then he grabs a vase or something. Mm-hmm. Remember, and he hits her in the forehead with it. And the head hangs back, but it's still attached by, like, the skin on the backside. So it's like that. Mm-hmm. And then it keeps flopping back, and it's just it's ridiculous. It was like another mouth.
I want to talk about the graveyard scene in a minute, but
that's after the funeral.
Yes, with this movie though, the zombie rules: you shoot them in the head or you hit them in the head and they die. Pretty much, this doesn't follow that at all.
Yeah, this is more. Those zombies are more along the line of Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Where you could dismember, you could cut their heads off, you could shoot them in the head. That wouldn't kill them.
You have to fart in their mouth to kill them.
Or electrocute them or burn them.
Those electrocute them, were the two. Fart in their mouth, or freeze them. Or freeze them. So, you want to do the zombie?
So wait, what happens? All right, so the nurse, and then he somehow gets them in the basement.
And locks the door.
Locks them in the basement.
And Boshida was like, where are they? What's going on? Where's your mom? He said the ambulance came and got her.
Yeah.
They took her. She's like, I didn't know ambulance. He lied. He did. So then, does it go to the funeral scene from here?
Shortly after.
Okay, you want to just go right to it?
And then you get the priest who was all pissed off because the son didn't show up. But he was there the whole time.
He was in the back. Opening up. Now
he knew she was still alive. They could have just nailed the the coffin lid shut and buried her, he could have been done with it. But that wouldn't have made a good movie.
No, he actually opened the casket. He had to unscrew everything.
Didn't he mount her?
She grabbed him by the neck or something.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah. Because he had the trank. He wanted to shoot her up with the tranquilizer.
Yeah, which it didn't work. He did that a lot.
No, it did work.
But
it just temporarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like
in the
saying,
eye. Every time with her, it was in the eye.
Like you were saying, they could have ended the movie there with him, burying her or whatever. Or even her coming out from the ground, which she ended up doing anyway. Yeah. Which was weird, though, because they didn't... With the funeral scene, they showed how how he took the thing off, she grabbed his neck, and they were, like, wrestling around. And his uncle was dying when they broke through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't really go from that scene. I mean, they went from that scene to the graveyard, but they didn't really go from that scene to see, like, how they got her buried.
No.
Which... I mean, it's fine because you don't always need to do that. Sometimes it's too much when they do it.
I mean, he tranked her, and then they threw the lid on and buried her.
But she was already fucking in there, locked up. Why did he have to open it? Why did he have to fuck that up?
I don't know.
So
obviously he couldn't do anything right. I mean,
not at all.
So then tie his shoes.
They were tied through the movie, probably. Someone probably did that off
Velcro.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
or just the slip-ons without the Velcro, without the strings.
Hey, Crocs. That was in the 90s, though.
So, we get from there, we get to the graveyard scene, which was a fun scene. He's over there. Was he going there to dig up his... He was going there to dig up his mother's grave.
Yeah, he's going to get her.
Which was weird. And then 3 dudes come. I guess
they like greasers.
Yeah, the greasers.
Hair slicked back, leather jacket and all that jazz.
So they come in, they fuck with him. 1 dude knocks him down, they're holding him down. 2 dudes are holding him down, kind of beating them up. And the 3rd guy is pissing on his mom's grave, which is disrespectful as shit. And
which you don't do, which we learned from this movie and Tales from the Hood.
She grabbed his meat.
Yep. Grabbed him right by the ding dong. Oh, twig and berries.
She came out of the ground, she was pulling him down, she was like right up in his face, and then it showed his body like shaking, and like all this, his rib cage was all hanging out. Blood was all going everywhere.
Yeah.
Rib cage was hanging out, and then he was like laying down on the ground. You didn't know then that he turned, like right away. You didn't know because he was down. His other friend just started screaming. They just took off.
They were smart.
She caught. Did she catch all 3 of them? Or did she just catch? No, she caught the second.
She caught all of them.
Did she?
Yeah, because the kung fu priest apparently lived right in the cemetery.
Yeah,
he came out in his robe and his slippers, which is fucking awesome.
He did, which I do remember that, but I remember because she got to the one and the other one kept running, but I don't remember her catching the 3rd one because I don't remember the 3rd one coming back and attacking with the other 2.
I think she threw one of them.
Maybe that's what it was.
Man, he hit the other one.
Or no, because anyway, the kung fu priest though, he comes out.
Yeah, he heard all the ruckus.
He's like, "What's going on out here?" Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Stay right there, boy. I got this."
Yeah, he was ready to go.
Yo, and then he said he kicks ass for the Lord. And he did.
He really did.
He was fucking shit up too.
He kicked the one guy, broke both his legs.
That was
uppercutted the one guy, knocked his head off, went flying up in the air, then landed on him, and bit him on the neck. And it was a wrap from there. And
that's where he kind of turned. And then how did he get? He was going to do.
Oh, remember he did that Bruce Lee kick where he just kept kicking him, pop, 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 kept kicking him as he was moving.
But remember when he did the jump kick, the Liu Kang kick, not the bicycle kick, but the other one. He goes across the screen. And he did that.
Kick a motherfucker in his chest. Bang!
Did he miss the zombie and then he landed on the fucking pointing up?
Yep.
And that's what killed him.
Yep.
And then like after all that commotion, they really didn't see what happened. You didn't see what happened. Like next, they went from that to
he was just there at the house,
and they were all eating breakfast.
He had him strapped to the chairs, and he was feeding them.
Yeah, feeding them
cat food.
Cat food? That's what they was feeding them?
Yeah, or something. It was a bunch. You could see open cans on the table. Looked like cat food jars.
And he put the tranquilizer in them. And then the priest zombie and the nurse zombie started trying to make out. And he was like, no, none of that.
And then she bit his lips, remember? And he pulled them apart.
But that was after, though, because remember he heard a ring or a knock he either heard a doorbell ring or a knock at the door. And it was his uncle.
Right.
And he was talking to his uncle for a while. And his uncle heard the commotion in the back. He was like, oh, what's going on in there? Some crazy sex shit or something. I forgot what he said exactly. And he was like, no, nothing, nothing, blah, 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 blah. So then his uncle threatened to call the police on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like,
he
did call the police.
Yeah.
And he was gonna, saying his nephew killed his mom and this, that, and the third. And his nephew was like, pretty much, you can have everything.
Mm-hmm.
When he hung up the phone, and then he goes back in the kitchen, and the priest, mind you, they're zombies, and the
Sexually
nurse
active zombies.
were banging.
Yeah, he had her bent over the table.
He was tearing it up. And then he had to
Remember,
mess
and
it
her
up.
head was fucked up, so it was like going like that.
And then they were kissing or whatever, and he pulled them apart, and she bit his like right here, the face.
Yeah.
Peeled it right off.
Yeah.
Which it was funny though. It was a dope scene. It was funny.
It was.
And I'm trying to think what happens after that.
And then the mom is sitting there the whole time, just
chilling, pretty much,
getting her rocks off.
Yep. This movie, like,
it's not by any means like a typical zombie movie.
Not at all.
A typical horror movie. It's in its own league, I would say.
Definitely.
I'm glad they didn't do a shitty sequel or over the top remake. I'm glad they just left it alone and let it be a classic.
Okay, now before we dive into this movie a little more, would you have been mad if they did a remake? Or even say they kept the story the same, but they just kind of upgraded,
amped it up a little bit?
Amped it up a little bit. But let's say they even kept it with the maybe a little CGI, not too much. Maybe a little CGI, but a lot of practical effects still.
If they did it in the same tone they did the Evil Dead, where it wasn't really so much a remake as much as like a reimagining, and it was still mostly practical effects. There was a little bit of special effects towards the end, like with all that blood.
Yeah.
But if they did it with that kind of tone, I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, okay.
Because there was a lot. It was, if anything, it was a comedy. It was like a horror comedy.
That's exactly.
That's the comedy aspect out of it.
Yeah.
And just made it straight horror. Yeah, absolutely. I'll check it out.
I agree with you.
Which is what they did with Evil Dead.
That movie. This movie right here, The Dead Alive, though, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely watch it again. I don't want to jump to that yet, though.
I lost count of how many times I've watched that movie.
Me, one and a half, because I started it today, but
yeah, I probably watched it for the first time in like '93 at least on VHS. Was it that?
Yeah. Well, what it was I remember looking this up on IMDb earlier. It came out in '92 in New Zealand, but for us '93.
Okay.
Which, go see Dead Alive, people. I'm gonna keep talking about it, but just go see it. Check it out. Funny movie, good horror, very gory.
Yeah, I mean, you could look up clips of it on YouTube,
and you'll laugh.
The trailer, the old trailer, does not do it any justice.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because we watched that before we watched the movie. So I'm trying to think. I know he has them all in the basement, like kind of chilling in the basement.
Yep.
The nurse gets pregnant, by the way, has a big ass ugly baby, and
it's full term in like 3 days. And it came out with clothes on.
It did.
Yeah, a onesie.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, that's some super sperm. Like, how does your sperm have clothes attached to it?
Hey.
It had to hurt coming out. Ooh.
So with that, remember he takes the baby to the park
with the stroller that had the barbed wire,
the old school stroller too, the big ones, and just bouncing around. And he's just watching how everybody else is with their kids. And he's trying to copy.
That's when you could tell he was fucked up in the head, because like, you don't bring that out.
Hell no.
With other people.
You leave that shit downstairs.
Right
in the basement with everybody else.
Burn the house down.
And remember what does he try to give it? Like a stuffed animal and it rips it apart? Right?
Yeah. He's like shaking it.
And somehow he lets the stroller go and it's just rolling down the hill. People are having picnics and all this stuff. And he goes to chase it.
You hear the baby laughing.
And did it crash and the baby falls out? Right?
Yeah. And I think it hit a seesaw. And then
oh man, when he's fighting this baby, it was hilarious.
Yeah, and they filmed that scene
in 2 days.
Yeah,
I believe they
after they actually finished filming that scene was added because they finished the movie and they had money left over from the budget. So then
they had $42,000 left over from the budget, and they used those 2 days to do that scene. Which the scene's not even that long, but it was just
like a couple minutes.
Hilarious. It fit in the movie well though, just because the way the movie was.
Yeah,
it fit in the movie real well. Oh my god, I
love the scenes where it's clearly a dude, like a baby suit, with a big ass head on it. He's walking, trying to get away. He starts punching. Remember, he was punching in the face, and at one point he was taking it by the legs and banging its head on the metal pole with the kids are on the swing. Yeah, that was great.
And he shoves it in a bag and punches the bag at one point and walks off like that's all normal. Like,
right.
The funny thing
in
about
New Zealand it is.
Maybe. In 92, 93, maybe it was.
Times are different.
The funny thing about that, which I was going to say before you said that, was nobody looked too like they were like, oh my goodness, but nobody looked too concerned, like running to go get a payphone because they didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, or like
to call the police.
Him.
No, they were just kind of like, oh,
yeah, he's disciplining his child, like punch it in the mouth and shit,
banging it up against the swing set.
Yeah, that's normal.
It is, I guess.
And it was laughing the whole time.
It was dying.
Yeah,
like that didn't even hurt.
Yeah.
So we go from that to they go back to the house, right?
Mm-hmm. And the uncle
starts that party.
Yeah, while that was going on, he was calling his people, and they were calling their people, and they set up a party. And then he hears a doorbell, and then he opens the door, and there's an uncle, and then behind him is like all the people with their cases of beer and shit and liquor and everything. And
they just barged right in.
Right, and then at that point, so you watch horror movies before,
something's
it's gonna go really bad. You got a
terrible.
basement full of zombies, and you got all these young kids up here getting drunk. Something's gonna go down.
And
that dude had been in like his 40s.
His uncle?
Yeah, over here hanging out with 19, 20-year-olds. Some pedophile shit.
He was a horn dog though. He just wanted to get it in. And that movie was so funny though. Yo,
he had that wig.
His uncle. Yep. This dude's uncle got hit in the nuts 5 different freaking times in the movie.
Yeah, the baby got him once too, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Because someone put the baby in a blender and hit the button and it shot out. Okay, yeah.
Because she started going in after a while.
Yeah, she kicked ass.
And this movie was
I hope she got some after all that.
From somebody.
Yeah.
This movie, though, while this whole party scene's going on, one of the things I liked is when, I don't know if Bashida did it or not, but remember the one zombie got its head, slammed into the lamp, and his whole head lit up?
Yep.
That was dope.
And then something happened where the electric cord got pulled, so she went all the way up, and she was pretty much at the ceiling.
On top of the wall, yeah. That's when, I want to say that's when he went in the attic. Oh, forgot to mention this. He always had, not always, but a few times in the movie you'll see him have these, not a flashback, he'll have a vision or whatever, or a dream.
Yeah.
And he sees a hand in water, drowning.
Yeah, he really did see that, but he thought it was a dream.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, what it was, which because his father wasn't ever there.
Right.
He thought that his mother told him that he was drowning. His father jumped in to save him. He can only save him, and his father drowned. But we find out a little later on.
Bullshit.
That's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
So, again, we're just kind of jumping around. Knock Knock. That shit was funny and crazy. Not really horror, but it's a decent movie. Knock Knock. Might have to check that out.
Thanks for the description.
You describe shit like you do.
Yeah. I watched this movie. It was good. Just check it out. No title.
It happens. No, he said it's called Knock Knock.
No, it's being sarcastic.
Oh, yeah. So, shit, where are we going with this?
The flashbacks.
With the drowning.
Yeah.
So then we figure out when homeboy Lionel goes up in the attic, he sees a chest up there or something. He gets that open.
Mm-hmm.
He looks in there and he sees pictures, and it's of his dad with another woman, obviously.
Yeah.
And then does his mother take pictures of when she drowned him? Is that how they found out?
I think there was Polaroids.
Okay.
I think.
So his dad was smashing another chick, and his mother killed him in the bathtub.
He was getting some strange, and
the way he found out that the reason why he's having these dreams is because he walked in the bathroom and seen his mother drowning his father, but somehow she put it into his head that didn't happen.
Yeah, because he was probably traumatized, you know, and in shock or something.
So with that, he got upset. Obviously, he was mad at his mom.
Yeah,
which she was a zombie then. He should have been mad at her. But so with that, a bunch of crazy shit happens. I'm trying to explain this the best I can. He ended up what happened? Did he go back downstairs?
The party gets crazy.
And all the zombies.
The door is opened.
The basement door. Yes. The basement door. And then that's when people start getting bit up by the other zombies. And
the baby comes out. And I think the uncle gets bit at one point. And I want to say it was the mom that pulled his spinal cord out. And he was just like a walking spinal cord with just a head attached.
The uncle?
Yeah. And which there was a similar scene in Return of the Living Dead 3, which is another good movie, really good. Where it's just the spinal cord attached. Well, in the Return of the Living Dead 3, the spinal cord's ripped out for the most part, like it's ripped up.
Yeah.
But it's still attached, so it's hanging out like that. But she takes him in Dead Alive, and takes him by the spinal cord, spits on his head, bashes his head over the kitchen table or counter or something.
Yeah. This was before he came back inside, or after he came back inside. Because remember, the uncle went outside at some point. He was fucking shit up outside.
Yeah, he had the two meat cleavers, and it was like a first person view, and he's just cutting everything up.
But he got hit the dick so many times in that movie. 5 times. 1 time is plenty.
I think at that point his toupee was off. I'm pretty sure because there's blood all over his face.
My toupee would have been off too after that. So we could just jump towards where it really gets bloody.
When he comes in with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
He has a lawnmower with rope, and it's strapped to his chest, and he fucking.
I forgot how much blood. I think you can see it right here.
It's a couple gallons, I believe.
300 liters of blood was used in that final scene of the movie.
Just that scene, right? So, excuse me. Imagine throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's saying that this movie is said to be. This is again, my source is IMDb. This movie is said to be the bloodiest movie of all time, measured in the amounts of film blood used during the film production. 300 liters for the final scene, and
which lasted quite a while.
Yeah,
because after he kills all the zombies in the house, he's like, "There's still Mom," and then the ground starts shaking, and the fucking mom comes out.
Oh, that was like upstairs, like on top of the roof and shit.
Yeah, that's where it ended up. Because remember, they ran upstairs. She was huge. She took up the 2 stories, and then they ran upstairs. And then, the climax was was on that.
And another fun fact about this is they said on the that final scene, the lawnmower scene that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
5 gallons of blood per second was pumped.
I believe it.
5 gallons per second. 5 jugs. Just think of this. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gallons. 5 gallons of blood per second.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, you'll see why they say it's all over the place, which I thought was awesome.
Remember, he was slipping around.
Yeah. Now, my thing is, where the hell did he get that I want that lawnmower. Not to kill people with, not to kill up zombies. Just to mow the damn lawn.
Yeah, like what brand was that?
Because you get into some thick weeds and the thing wants to cut off.
Right. You were talking bones and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going good.
And it clearly wasn't sharp. No. It was not sharp, and the blades were like that long.
But it was cutting up. Hey, if you could find something that good.
Yeah, and the engine didn't flood.
No. Nope, nothing. That worked good.
Yeah.
So whoever knows where you can get that lawnmower like that from, let me know. Rob, what's good?
Hello, Robert.
Talking about Dead Alive. Close to the end of the movie. We're kind of jumping around in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, remember I was telling you the game for Dreamcast, it was House of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a grind movie, like a parody game mocking, all the 80s and 90s horror cliches for the most part. And the ending, there's a scene similar to the ending of that movie where it was like the opposite where like the main villain was obsessed with his mom. Like they had some kind of weird creepy thing going on. And at the end of the movie, he like, it really is. At the end of the game, he kind of like walks back into her through her crotch.
Oh, wow.
That's
pretty freaky.
It is.
At the end of the movie, didn't his mother like put him back in her stomach or something?
Yeah, and he used that amulet
to get out.
Yeah.
That's where the amulet comes into play.
I think it was like a moon and a cross, maybe.
Something like that.
So yeah. Either way, he used it to cut out of her.
Boshida. Which, like I said, the movie was good though. Like the movie was funny.
And still, not a lot of people know about it.
You know what it is though?
Like every person that I know, and Scott, remember I got you to watch it. Everyone I know that likes horror movies, I try to get them to watch it. Just because I know it's just not.
Yeah. So anybody listening to this, Robbie, I'm sure you've seen this already, but Christian, you should check the movie out, Dead Alive. For anybody that's watching this video that we're doing right now, or that's going to be listening to this later on, check the movie out. We're going to be, like I said, podcast, I'm going to be bouncing all around.
Yeah.
But, like I said, with this movie, though, I'd definitely watch it again. I'd definitely recommend it. It's one of those movies that you could, it's like, it was 92, 93. It was made then.
Yeah. But I think it still holds up against movies these days.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because just the effects, the practical effects. And, I mean, yeah, it's going to look cheesy to some movies because it's older, but at the same time, it's a fun movie. It's freaking hilarious. And the kills are just, if you like gore, watch this movie. If you like comedy horror, watch this movie.
And they, what else? They put, the girl, she put something in a blender and actually blended it up, right? How'd the baby die? The baby was killed. How did?
Was it with the blender?
I don't remember. No.
That's a good question.
Scott, how'd the baby die?
Because we don't remember.
Yeah.
That's a good freaking question. Or did the baby die?
I'm pretty sure it did. Because remember, it opened the girl's head up from behind.
Oh, and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, that was awesome. I have that T-shirt of that actual scene from Fright Rags,
which is another good thing.
It's a New York based. Was it? I guess maybe it was a blender.
You know what? It could have been, because I think it jumps up and grabs something and falls into the blender.
That's right.
What happened to the butthole?
Went back home.
Did it leave?
I don't know where it went.
Like, I forgot what happened.
Hopefully, it's doing good. It's been a while. Got a job, has a family.
I remember it was in the mirror looking at itself. Then it started chasing. I was about to call the dude Scott.
Yeah, the butthole's always chasing Scott, right?
Lionel,
the booty warrior.
It was. Oh man,
I liked you and I want you.
But it didn't chase him around.
I think so. Yeah, I know. At one point, it was he was hanging from and it was trying to reach him.
Wasn't he hanging by his ankle from the light chandelier somehow? Yeah. Swinging around?
Yeah.
That movie was just so... It was one of those horror movies, too, where it was, like, so random. Mm-hmm. Where, like, shit was just kind of, like, thrown in there. But it worked. Like, it wasn't, like...
It did.
It was... You know, some movies you watch a movie and they'll just throw something in there and you're like, why the hell did they do that? For this movie, everything... All it's like, you grab a ball of shit and you throw it up against the wall and all that shit stuck.
It did. There's a lot of feces in that bowl.
And a lot of times it doesn't work like that. And
yeah, it was a clusterfuck, but it was a controlled clusterfuck.
It worked. And the only thing I kind of wish was more in the movie, which we seen how it died, was the rat monkey. I wish it was in the movie a little bit more. I see why it wasn't.
It served its purpose.
It did. It really did. And like that's the only thing.
Imagine if like the infection was on a wider scale, not just because it was just in that house. That was it.
Yeah, you're right.
So imagine if the rat monkey bit another monkey, and that monkey bit someone, and then he bit the mom, and so you have like the outbreak in the zoo, and then so on and so forth.
That movie was just shit.
They could have done spin-offs, but
some fun spin-offs.
Yeah, because the infection didn't happen right away. Like in most zombie movies, like a couple minutes you get bit.
Yeah,
this is like a good day at least.
Yeah, it was
before the mom got fucked up.
You know what we forgot? The dog.
Your mother ate my dog.
Yeah, like you hear
fucking dogs hanging out.
Rashida comes over. She brings her dog over. I know we're jumping around. We already talked about the end, but I said this is how this podcast is.
Yeah.
We're
like two monkeys fucking a coconut or a football, right?
I don't know.
Football.
I don't know.
Two monkeys fucking a football.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about at all.
Not literally.
I know.
It's weird.
So, she comes over to check on Lionel or whatever. She brings her dog, and the dog just runs upstairs.
Yeah, it was a little like Shih Tzu or some stupid.
It was a German Shepherd, I thought. Was it a big dog or a little dog?
I don't remember.
Scott, was it a big dog or a little dog? And while you answer that, I'm going to go on with it. So you hear the dog going upstairs, and it's like barking.
It was a big dog, because it jumped on him in a different scene.
It was a German Shepherd.
When they first met, yeah.
You hear it barking. You hear the mom yelling, I think, or something. And then all of a sudden you go upstairs. You see the mom just sitting down on the ground with her tail hanging out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, Your mother ate my dog. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, I feel like things would have. I would have left. Like, you know, there's some weird shit going on here.
Yeah,
I'm out.
that right there is crossing the line. And she still stuck around, and
Yeah.
that's good.
My theory is the dude wasn't circumcised, and he was insecure about it. So, you know, he
Maybe.
didn't know what to do.
Who knows? But
that's my theory. He had a shy turtle.
this guy said a shy turtle.
It might have been. Honestly, I don't remember that detail.
Yeah.
Sheltered
life. That
or
could do it too.
Yeah.
But usually, now we could just discuss this real quick. With the sheltered life thing, a lot of times when people have sheltered life, when they get out in the real world, they go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
He did not go nuts.
No, the real world came to him, and it went nuts.
And he was still calm about it. Like, I will say
this.
this.
He had his wits about him.
After all that
things
stuff,
considered.
All things considered with this movie, everything that happened with the whole zombie stuff, starting with his mother, everybody, and then like the whole freaking house, when all that was at the
And he
party.
kept up the house. The house is clean. You know, his bills were paid.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like he handled that pretty well. Like at the end of the movie, he still wasn't nuts.
No, if anything, he was like
I'll
stronger. Like, you know, because if you go through that, you can fucking survive anything.
He didn't shit on himself, which I would have shit on myself.
We don't know that for sure.
We don't, but I don't think he did.
Because there was so much blood, there could have been shit.
Yeah.
It was just diluted.
And he didn't like me. I'm freaking out. I'm shitting on myself. I'm leaving. Like, fuck this. I can't handle this.
Yeah, I'm definitely shitting on myself. That's probably one of the first things I would do.
And crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't handle this kind of,
No, I can't handle that.
No, I'm gone. Like, you know what? Let's go.
I'd be like, why is this old ass dude inviting me to this party in the first place?
That would really, really worry me right there.
It would.
You want to come to a party? I got alcohol. No.
He looked like a fat Elvis, didn't he?
Wasn't Elvis fat?
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Lemonade.
That's your Elvis impression?
Yeah.
What's that rabbit song? You want to get that up before?
The what?
So, ain't kill a rabbit, ain't no friend of mine.
Oh, the Hound Dog, yeah.
Hound Dog, yep. All right.
Rabbit song.
I just...
I had that as Michael's ringtone for the longest time.
So,
if you're watching... No, is he watching?
No. I'm going to show you guys, for the ones that are watching the podcast, I'm going to shoot this out real quick. Give me one. Just grab this card. It's Martin FX Creations. He has a Facebook page on here. Go check that out. Like it. He makes some, like, those pictures of the masks are the masks he made.
He makes all kinds of masks.
All those masks, he does this by hand.
He made a really cool Deadpool one. That was pretty dope. Yeah,
if you go on his page, go on that. You can check it out. I believe he has an Etsy too. He made this soap. Again, Martin Creations, FX.
You can see the blood.
Yep, that's Jason's mask in there.
That's soap within a soap.
Yes, it is.
That's Inception soap.
And it smells good. I told him I'd shoot him out, so I'm going to give him a shout out. Also, like I said in the last video, Normal Terror, Sacrificial Productions, Sam Iam. Check him out. I think the movie's going to be dope. I'm actually going to be interviewing him one of these days, and I'm going to be his first official interview.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Got to make these horror connections.
You follow his page. He posts some pictures
for the props
from the set and everything,
from like the effects that they're doing in the movie, which I think is freaking awesome. He'll also share it on my page, and I'll share it all over. But so follow Normal Terror, follow Sacrificial Productions. Which can you post it on the thing?
Yeah.
And follow horror.
Oh, you know what? I'm not following him for some reason.
Follow Martin Effects, and we're just gonna jump right into the end of this, kind of, sort of, because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
What would you rate this movie?
On
a scale of 1 to 10, rat monkeys.
1 to 10 rat monkeys. 8.
An 8? Can I ask? And then can you tell me why?
It drags a little bit. I feel like there was too much of the what was her name? The girl Bashida chasing Lionel.
Okay.
There was a bit too much of that for me.
Okay. And I'll give it a I'm gonna give it 8.5.
Like it almost took away from the actual
The-
story, like what
Yeah.
was actually happening.
I'll
She
give it.
wanted it.
She did. I'll give it 8.5. And my reason for that is I wanted more of the rat monkey in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just a couple more scenes, I wanted more of the rat monkey in the movie.
And then the origin of the rat monkey, it was the settlers came to Skull Island, and the big rats came off the ship and started fucking the monkeys. And then
there you go.
Rat monkey. Because that's how it works.
You know. You watched it. Listen, if you watch National Geographic, it happens.
Actually, that's
all
probably
the
the most rational thing in that movie was a rat getting a monkey pregnant.
You're right.
If you think about it.
Out of everything in the movie, that's the thing that made the most sense in the whole freaking movie. Like I said, 8.5. I wish the rat monkey was in it more. I love the gore in it. I love the kills in it. And I guess what he was saying, it dragged a little bit with Washida chasing after Lionel, but it wasn't too much to where you lost focus on the movie.
Right.
So, like I said, overall 8.5. We already decided earlier, we both recommend the movie. We
Absolutely.
both watch the movie
I
again.
always recommend it.
He does. We both watch the movie again. I guess we already talked about what we would change about the movie as far as, you know.
Yeah, I would have just dialed back. I would have dialed it back a little bit with the...
And we already answered the remake question. We both like to see a remake if they kept it kind of... You'd want less comedy, you said in that?
Yeah.
Less comedy. But then again, how would it work with less comedy? Just saying, because the way the whole story... Like, it fit perfect for that movie. With
like,
it
would just be more of a horror movie than a...
comedy?
Yeah.
Horror comedy?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Got anything? About this movie or any other horror movie?
There's no shitty sequel, which I'm happy.
That's true.
I think it's pretty solid.
I do. I'm trying to think of something. Solid, yeah. You got any IMDb facts you want to throw in there? He's looking. So I'll keep talking to you people out there. Let me think.
It was shot in 11 weeks.
It was shot in 11 weeks, 2 1s. Which is actually, with all the stuff that if you watch this movie, when you see everything 11 weeks, I mean, I don't know how long a movie usually takes, but that may be impressive, or it may not be. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Scott, you're over here still watching us. If you got anything you want to add, I'll say it on here. You said it was shot in 11 weeks. Told you about the budget and all that.
Yeah.
See if I can find some.
I love the cover.
The cover is awesome. The cover is awesome.
It's kind of like a
what's cool?
Spoiler of sorts.
I was gonna say, what's cool about the cover is it actually ends up being in the movie.
In a roundabout way. Actually, in a worse way.
So we got I kick ass for the Lord. That was
Father McGrinder. Because he'd be grinding on these hoes.
Stand back, boy. This calls for divine intervention. That's when he started kicking ass in the movie.
Yeah. He should have had a spin-off movie. Or a prequel. Like when he was training. Like maybe he was training with the guy that trained the people in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like if he went through that whole thing.
Now, then you got Lionel yelling at the dude. That's my mother you're pissing on. I think R. Kelly's seen this movie.
That's my daughter you're pissing on.
That's where he got the idea from.
That's my leg you're pissing on.
Just getting a couple quotes.
Sucking Lionel until her gaping womb.
Wow.
No one will ever love you like your mother.
So, like I said, overall, movie definitely rewatchable. We gave it a good rating. Actually, a great rating because 8.5. That's a good rating out of 10. As far as the name for the movie, the name that I want to call this podcast. What do you want to call it? This episode. You want to call it one of these quotes?
Gaping womb. Nah. Time for divine intervention.
That's what you want to call it?
I kick ass for the Lord.
I kick ass for the Lord?
Yeah.
All right, so this is I kick ass for the Lord.
Scott kicks ass for the Lord.
He does. Scott kicks ass for a lot of people.
Scooter. Yes, he does.
So with that note, I'm going to end it here.
Now he joins.
Michael.
Hey, Michael.
What's up? We're about to end the episode.
Always late.
Yeah, it's been going on for about an hour. So you got anything else you want to add in, plug, whatever? You got any horror? Matter of fact, you got any recommendations for another horror movie for people to watch?
Like, if you like this movie, then you'll like something
Anything.
else.
Just anything in general.
The Return of the Living Dead.
All right. Returning the Living Dead.
Yeah. The franchise itself, after part 3, went downhill completely.
Mm-hmm.
But Return of the Living Dead, 1, 2, and 3, solid movies.
And I'm going to throw out a movie
Part 3 is great.
I know a lot of people have never heard of. I just watched it either the end of last year or this year. And it's a horror comedy. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I loved it. Watch it on YouTube. Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I only saw bits and pieces of that.
Again, Thanksgiving. It's about a turkey.
That's got stuffed.
Yes. The quotes. That's what got me drawn into the movie because the quotes were hilarious.
I've only watched that scene, actually. Because isn't the guy like hitting it from the back and then the turkey?
He eventually does.
Yeah.
But just, I don't want to give away too much. I want you guys to watch it. But the opening scene, I will say this. You see a lady running topless. And the turkey, the very first quote was, "Nice tits, bitch." And then he kills her. I was rolling. I was like,
imagine that being the last thing you hear before you die is a turkey complimenting your titties.
Wow.
It'd be really weird.
So, again, thanks for watching us on this live podcast. I will be doing this again. I'm not sure when. And thanks for listening to us for those who are going to listen to it later on when this episode comes out. Excuse me. It was fun. Definitely got to do this again. And shit. Anything?
Nah, man, I'm good.
I'm good. Well, I'm going to end it here.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, anytime. So again, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for watching. And as always, I'll see you in your nightmare.